everyone, welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. Today I'm setting up my February bullet journal, and this month's theme is inspired by the new season of Bridgerton, season 4, which focuses on Benedict and Sophie's story. February felt like the perfect time for something a little romantic, a little dramatic, but still soft and cozy. So I'm leaning heavily into collage spreads this month, mixing textures, muted colors, along with being classic with the Bridgerton elegance. I'm going to be using supplies from Notebook Therapy, paper Monogatari, and Archer and Olive. So if you love layered spreads and gentle planning, you're definitely in the right space. From Notebook Therapy, I'm using a lot of their collection from their Paris collection. So you'll see that I'm going through the different scrapbook paper that they have, the washi tape, the different borders and stickers that they provided. But then I'm also going to be using Archer and Olive. They have a subscription box that came out in December that had all of these different collage papers. And I thought some of these would be really good to use in this theme, especially this green. So you'll see that I'm slowly starting to stockpile all the supplies I'm going to be using in this setup. So just pulling some more paper that I'll use as layering and different textures. So you'll see different scripts, different typewriter. And then the washi tape I'm using is from Paper Monogatari, which is Journal Away's stationery shop. So if you haven't checked out Journal Away, she's another bullet journal stationery artist who has amazing work, and her shop is wonderful. She is on maternity leave, I think until the summer, so her shop is closed except I think for digital products, but if you're interested, check it out. I also am going to be using washi tape from Notebook Therapy's Paris collection as well. For this setup, I wanted it to feel like flipping through an old Regency scrapbook. So, thinking handwritten letters, floral details, especially with the purples because of the Bridgerton estate having the wisteria vines everywhere. I'm first starting off with my February title page, which will have a full collage spread on both sides. One will be the quote page, which I'm starting right now, and then the other will be the actual cover page. There's no pressure for these pages to be functional. In fact, most of these are more design and aesthetically pleasing for setting the tone of this theme. So I first start off by layering some vintage paper as the base. And so you'll see here me just sticking it in with double-sided tape. I added that green paper from Archer and Olive, so it adds a little bit of texture, and then layering the script paper on top of it just to add a little bit more depth. And then you'll see that I'm looking at the different elements in the washi tape to see what I want to use. And basically what's going to happen over the next few minutes is me cutting out the different pieces of the flowers from this washi tape and then just placing them throughout the spread. Now when it comes to collage, I'm not necessarily the best. It's one of those things that you kind of need to trust the process and see where it goes, because there were moments where I was actually not liking how my spread was turning out. Like the next day when I came back to it to work on the actual cover page, I went to bed not liking what I put together, but the next day I felt a lot better with what I created. It's definitely not perfect, and I think with collaging it just comes with practice and experience and just understanding what you're comfortable with, like how much white space you want, layering things, creating the different depth and elements with them. And that again, I think just comes with practice. Another YouTuber who's amazing at collage spreads is Mochi Bujo. She makes such wonderful collage spreads, and honestly, she's a lot of the time my inspiration when I collage, but I just sometimes feel like I don't have the correct supplies. But in reality, all you need is paper and tape for collages is really all you need. And that's what I reminded myself here, is that it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be pretty for me, and that's enough. And so throughout this spread, I'll just layer things differently. You'll see that I'll pick things up, rearrange them, and that's the joy of figuring out collages, is that one moment you think an item's gonna go really good here, and then the next moment you're gonna place it somewhere else and realize that, oh, that was better for me. And so that's what you'll see me do throughout the next few minutes. I am going to start stamping out the quote that I picked. I did pick a quote from Bridgerton. I think it was from season 1. It's Daphne talking to Simon. And the quote is, "Just because something is not perfect does not make it any less worthy of love," which I thought was both fitting for just romantic feelings in general, but also for bullet journaling and this collage spread, is that it's not perfect, but doesn't mean you can't love it. I know that's not necessarily what the quote is designed for, but it fit into this theme pretty well for me. The stamps are, I believe, from Michaels. I got them years ago, so I'm not entirely sure, and definitely needed the ink to dry a little bit more before I tried erasing it, so it definitely messed up the quote page, but again, doesn't mean that it's not worthy of love. So the next few minutes is going to be me doing the quote page and then just testing out different areas that I want to put stickers down or papers for the collage, and so it'll take a little bit of time. And so with that, I wanted to hear your thoughts on Bridgerton. I'll share mine, but I am very curious if you guys are fans. If you are, let me know. I would love to hear what you think about the books, the show, or just any thoughts in general. I have been watching these shows since it came out in 2020, I think is when it first came out, and have been a huge fan since. Season 2 is my absolute fave. Always a sucker for friends or enemies to lovers. It's one of my favorite tropes. I did really like season 1 too, and then season 3 I was so excited for, but turned out to be a little disappointed with it. But after rewatching it, it wasn't as bad this second time around, since I rewatched it before season 4 just came out. And it's only the first half of season 4 that's currently out right now. The second half will come out later this month, which I'm excited for. I'm going to do my best not to spoil anything. I don't think I will, but just in case, potential spoilers. But for the current season, it focuses on Benedict's story, and he has been one of my favorite brothers since the beginning of the show. I always thought he was super funny and just charming, but definitely you can tell he's trying to find himself. And I was really excited for his story, and so far I will say I'm enjoying it. I'm not taking it too serious, and I think maybe that's why I'm having fun with it. I am very much enjoying the storyline of learning about the servants and just their process for the ton. I think that's been a really interesting insight that I wasn't expecting, so I'm enjoying that, and I'm looking forward to part 2 coming out at the end of this month. I haven't read the book, so I know that it's a Cinderella inspired story, so I have an idea where it will go, but I don't know the full details since I didn't read the book. And I think I'll probably read the book later this month or maybe next month, which as a nice little spoiler of my reading journal setup should be coming later this month as well. So you can look forward to those videos. I'm very excited to update my reading journal and then to just start sharing what I'm reading. I took a little bit of a hiatus once my son was born, but so far this year I've read 2 books in January, and so slowly getting up there, and then I will gladly share with all of you what I've been reading once I set up those videos for you all. But I'm rambling a little bit. But going back to my original thought of season 4 with the book, I'd be really curious. I'll probably read the book after the show, which is what I did with book 1 and book 2. So Daphne and Anthony stories. I read the books after I watched the show. And I don't know if this is a hot take, and if it is, let me know. Share your thoughts below, but I actually like the show more than the books. Not to say that the books are bad. Oh look, surprise kitty visit. That's my cat Deku. He wanted to be part of this spread. And actually, I'm going to segue away from talking about Bridgerton and talk a little bit about this setup, because now I'm working on the cover page. And since this spread is focusing on Benedict's story, and Benedict's story is Cinderella coded, the beginning of the season starts with a masquerade ball. And so because of the masquerade ball, I wanted a masquerade mask to be the focal point of my cover page. And so you'll see on a extra sheet of paper, I'm just drawing out just a very simple mask, but then now I'm covering it with a lace washi tape, because the mask that Sophie wears in the show, I wish I had more time, because I would have tried to draw it, because it was a beautiful mask, but I didn't have the time. So I thought I would do something kind of simple but yet inspired by her mask. And her mask is with lace and jewels, and it's just really pretty. So that's why I added the lace washi tape here instead of drawing it, because I thought it was a good use of the washi tape, and also it provides the lace feel to it. And so that's what I ended up using on the mask itself to add those elements. And then I'll follow similar to what I did on the quote page with the layering of different papers. It took me a while to figure out how I wanted to layer the cover page with the mask, because at times I felt like the mask was blending into the background, but on camera it actually doesn't blend in as bad as it does in person. In person, I thought it was blending in way too much, but on camera it actually looked better against the background. So I wish I looked at the camera before I spent far too long trying to figure out where to put it, but at the end of the day I settled with it in the center, and I liked where it ended up being. Going back to my potential hot take opinions, basically I have been enjoying the show more than the books, and it could be the fact that the books are a little bit older. I know they were written in the early 2000s, so it could be that just the show itself is just adding a little bit more areas that I feel like the book was missing. And so maybe that's why I'm enjoying the show more. Now, don't get me wrong, I do think the show is getting a little bit extra with some of the things that it's adding, but I haven't minded them per se, just like I don't mind the books either. I don't think the books are bad or anything, but I definitely will say I enjoyed watching the shows a little bit more than reading some of the stories, especially Anthony and Kate's story. I really liked everything they added to this season, whereas the book was a lot more, there was a lot less in the book than in the show. Like there was way more in the show than there was in the book. And I'll leave it at that so it doesn't spoil anything. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Bridgerton, the current season, the books that I've read. And yeah, I'd be very curious if anybody is fans. If you are, let me know. I'd be curious to talk some more. But that is why I wanted my February theme to reference that. I thought with the new season it would be perfect, and Bridgerton is very much about romance, and February is, you know, the stereotypical month of love with Valentine's Day. So I thought, why not combine the two? Why not try a new layout style with collaging on the channel? And so yeah, I thought it was a good mixture for the month. But I will stop rambling and talking now and let you enjoy the thought process and decision making that it comes with collaging, and I'll come talk to you in some of the later spreads. Now, jumping into the next spread, which is going to be my monthly calendar, I actually am going to do a Dutch door. And I thought a fun way to reference the theme would be to have the side panel of the Dutch door have its own Lady Whistledown spread. So in the show, Lady Whistledown's paper comes out and then it tells you everything that's going on in the ton. So I thought, why not make a mini Lady Whistledown, and then I'll write throughout the month just little different notes or things that are going on or just thoughts. And I thought that would be a cute little way to tie it in. So right now I'm on a vintage paper just writing out the Lady Whistledown and the icon that she has on her papers in the show. So here I am going in and cutting out that Dutch door, which is where the Lady Whistledown will now sit. And now I am starting to decorate and collage the monthly calendar. This is going to be probably one of the most structured spreads of this entire setup. I went with a clean grid layout so that it's easy to see everything at a glance. And then around the edges and then in small corners is the small collage elements. Now with these spreads, I am using a calligraphy pen from Archer and Olive. And I think I'm using the color Slate. It's from one of their ink collections. And then just using the stamps again to tie in those different elements that I used on the cover page and the quote page. This calendar is where I'm going to track important dates, appointments, any non-negotiables for the month. I like to keep it simple because it's basically the anchor for everything else. I'll also know any bills, any deadlines, anything that of note will go on this monthly view page, and then I can reference it with my dailies or my weekly spreads to help organize myself. Right after the monthly calendar, I'm setting up a content calendar. And this one is brand new to me. I didn't do this in January, and I'm trying it out for February. I'm hoping this spread will help me with keeping myself a little bit more organized when it comes to this channel and my Instagram for Pixel Pages Studio. I wanted to highlight when I should be posting, whether that be on Instagram or on YouTube. Ideally, I want to try to post one YouTube video per week. I understand this one's coming out a week after, but hopefully for the rest of this month, I'm going to be able to post close to every weekend. And then for Instagram, I want to get better at posting at least 3 times a week minimum, hopefully more. I'm slowly getting comfortable with social media. It's never been my strong suit. Usually I use it to doom scroll or go into rabbit holes. And even on my own personal social media, I don't post very frequently. So having this has been a learning opportunity and a challenge for me. So I'm hoping to get better and to have fun with it and start engaging with more of you. So hopefully this spread will help me keep organized and keep on top of it while having a visual aid so that I'm not feeling overwhelmed and lost. Next is my habit tracker. I'm keeping this one pretty minimal for this month. I'm using a grid instead of having different months like I did in January. I felt like I couldn't visually see how I was doing on each day for my tasks, whereas this one, because it's a grid, I just go across and mark what I did or didn't do the day of. And then I also am adding a one line a day spread, which is one of my favorite spreads in the past because it's a nice memory keeper. Basically what this spread is that you have a line for every day of the month and you write a little memory or note of whatever you want. So it could be what you did that day, what you felt that day, something you thought of, anything you can use to reference for the month. And it's just like a nice visual reference of what happened in the month itself. And then the habit tracker, like I was saying, I kept it pretty simple with having the grid and then having the different elements. I'll track them with different icons on the top. At the time of creating this, I didn't pick what my habits were for the month. I had a rough idea. And then the last spread for this setup is the first weekly spread. And for this one, I'm doing a different layout than what I did last January. I had the weeks all under a Dutch door, and then I kind of did different layouts each week. But this one, I'm doing completely different. There's no Dutch doors. Each week is going to have its own different theme, but for this first week, I decided to have a running task list on the right side. So running any or listing any to-dos that I have throughout the entire week rather than having them tied to a specific day, especially because right now I've realized that a lot of my tasks aren't day specific, and so sometimes I'll say I need to do it this day. I won't end up doing it that day. I'll end up doing it a few days later or the next day. So this is just having one long to-do list instead. And then on the left spread, I have two areas for the week, which the one that I'm stamping right now is I want to use as a meal tracker to track what I ate those days, so almost like a meal log. I'm wanting to get better at cooking at home and just tracking what I'm eating right now. And so I'm hoping by having this spread, I can see how much I'm eating out and how I've been eating throughout the week. And then the other boxes are for like events or appointments that are going on those days, so like things specifically for Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, whereas it's not necessarily a task, but it's something to note for those days of the week. That wraps up my February bullet journal setup. This Bridgerton-inspired theme was so much fun to create and honestly makes me excited to use this journal every day for this month. If you enjoyed this plan with me, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps support my channel. Let me know in the comments what theme you're using for February, and if you are also counting down for the next few episodes of Bridgerton. I will see you in the next one. Bye!